You're having fun with your friends and you're rolling dice. You're playing make-believe and it's really nice. Side quest, side sesh. That's the name of this show.
You trying out a new theme song each week? Is that the idea?
I think that's a good one.
That one was solid good.
Think about that, like harmonize, like side quest, side sesh. That's the name of the show.
We need to get like a full gospel choir. If that can ever happen again in human experience,
I think
I totally get that for that.
Choirs are definitely quarantine friendly.
I think we have to call up Whoopi and see if she can get us into Sister Act 3, complete the trilogy, get it done.
It's the movie everybody wants and they don't even know it. If you tolerated Sister Act 2, you might come see Sister Act 3.
You bite your tongue. Sister Act 2 has that joyful that's amazing.
That is
and Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill's in that?
No, she's not. Didn't Lauryn Hill record it?
Well, now I'm out for sure.
Totally would have checked it out if Lauryn Hill was involved.
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't see it.
If the hill's out, so's the Lavals. That's what I always say.
Oh, it's Lauryn Hill recorded it.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
She did her own cover.
A lot of people jumped on that gravy train.
Skyrocketed the charts all the way to 24 that month. Oh boy! Remember Must See TV? This is the equivalent now. It used to be Thursday night NBC. It was like Seinfeld, Cosby Show, Cheers. I don't know if they were all the same, but it was pretty much like those three and another one. That was Friends. Was that, or was Friends a Friday show? I can't remember. I think Friends was Thursday.
No, Friends was Thursday.
At one point, when I was a kid, it was Cosby Show, Family Ties, Cheers, Night Court.
Oh, come on! What a block!
And then LA Law. Oh no, LA Law was Friday. I don't know what was after that. But...
What was after that in those days?
It was an hour drama, but I don't remember what it was.
Was it Hunter?
Actually, it might have been Hill Street Blues.
Well, it eventually became ER. ER took that.
ER eventually
for like
was
15, 20 years, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. Back at that point, I can't remember what it was.
It was LA Law. Oh wait, no, it started as Hill Street Blues, and then it became LA Law. Then it was ER, was the 10 o'clock block.
There we go. All right, nailed it.
Look at that.
Nailed it.
Man. Then it was like Cheers, Wings, Cheers again, and then Seinfeld at 9:30. Man, I don't have TV like that anymore.
Wow.
Oh, briefly, it was Law and Order. Or I guess it's like Law and Order / LA Law. I wonder if they ran reruns.
Just check out the must-see TV block on the Wikipedia.
That's exactly what I'm looking at. This is this is great.
How we doing on donations to Direct Relief, Joe? It's been a couple of role-playing eps in a row here. Looks like we're gonna get juicy tonight, though. What are we at? All said and done. Do you have a number in your head?
All said and done, we're at $350. We need to bump that up. It's just not enough. Too much role play. But I emailed you about donating despite the role play, and you never responded. This is where I see how much you care about Direct Relief.
How about tonight we do $100 a crit and fumble just for the hell of it, to make up for the last couple weeks. We'll do.
I love that idea.
Sweet C-note.
Love that idea.
To Direct Relief for all crits and confirmed crits and fumbonies.
As the CFO, I must step in, if only to suggest we go up to 125.
You're out of your mind. This guy. That's just such a weird number for a guy who has no interest in numbers. You really like that weird number.
He just really sank his teeth into the job when we gave it to him.
That's right. He doesn't even care it's 125. He just wants to be involved.
I am
Let's
involved.
do
I look at all
101. Like a Price is Right.
101.75.
Well, I hope there are some crits and fun bones tonight because a lot of people need a lot of help out there, and we have had some role playing, and I think tonight we're going to get our hands dirty with pig grease, smoked tick legs, and all that shit. How's everybody's quarantine going? We're in like day 50-ish by now, right? 53 or something like that, I think. Pretty awful.
Yeah.
You guys have any new hobbies that you didn't have before this started? and keep it PG. Well, I've got some new calluses, but PG. All right, we'll keep it PG.
Yikes! Yeah, it's been a lot of hang, snatch, and clean pulls around at the old CrossFit of Party of One, Grant Berger.
It's also in lifting weights.
No, a couple things. I got to play video games again. I beat XCOM 2 with the expansion.
You beat it?
Yeah, this is my 4th time. I have 170 hours in it now. I realized that I was researching things too quickly. I also ordered some new brushes and paints for my if I ever have time. I really haven't had much time this time. But the other good thing that's happened this whole time is that I saw a sports book said the Giants were only favored in 2 games this season. So that makes me feel great.
2 games against the Cowboys, I bet.
Oh,
With their new QB, Andy Dalton.
nailed me just so hard.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. When Dax breaks his leg at the first half of game 1,
Hey man,
they bring in
the
redheaded nightmare.
All
The
we
Red
need,
Rifle.
all we need are is his success with the Bengals, us to get to the first round of the playoffs, and then lose every year. That's all we need.
All right, so you've been doing a little painting, a little video gaming. What about you, Matthew? You just writing all business, or you? I noticed you're posting a lot of pictures on the old Facebook of you and your wife making some vegetarian goodies.
It's true. Though we did that before. It's not really a new hobby. We're just able to do it more now.
So I guess one of my hobbies is looking at your Facebook.
There we go. No, Caitlin and I had this realization last night that we've been together for more than 12 years now. But we've never spent this much time.
Congratulations.
This much time, like without a break. Like whereas normally we'd go to work or someone would go on vacation. I don't know, whatever we do. But now we're like always here with each other, and we haven't killed each other. So I think that's a victory.
That's
I
very impressive.
refuse to clap in solidarity with your wife. I'm also protesting your marriage.
It's been 13 years we've been together.
It's those kind of little overlooks that you do that drive me crazy. And also your
I
wife.
thought when you said it's been 12 years without a break, you meant you like occasionally have unamicable splits.
We want a break.
Well, this quarantine really brought us back together.
They are
Family.
theater kids.
No. I've also like you said, Troy, obsessiveness. I have gotten really into picking out a new notebook.
Ooh. Have you settled on one?
Nope.
No.
Why would I settle when I can spend hours Googling about paper types and best, line versus a dot grid?
Ooh, I like a dot grid.
It's a hard not life. Joe, you've had a busy week. I'm sure you've been too busy to pick up any new hobbies. You want to tell the folks at home what you've been up to?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has noticed. Change of scenery behind me here. I have spent the week driving my family to Oklahoma. So I am in Oklahoma now. My new hobby is sitting in a car for 25 straight hours and getting horribly constipated. Well, I'm sorry, but there was a long bowel movement discussion before we went live. And, just wanted to update you guys. I didn't get my word in during the mic test. No, it's been a crazy week. We drove out to Oklahoma to be with my in-laws. My wife's family lives out here, and much like Caitlin and Matthew, only the older version, they travel a lot for work and stuff like that. And so, I mean, they fly all over the country frequently with their separate jobs. And so they never spend time together. And so they were ready to kill each other. And we were like, let's bring them the grandchildren. It'll save their marriage. And at the same time, we could, get a
little break,
get a little more space and get out from living over a landlord and not, freaking wash our hands every time we touch our own doorknob of our house. To be like, you just never know who's touching your. So I was happy to get out here. But of course we were nervous. And so we did about a 10 to 12 day true quarantine in that house. So I didn't go out for almost 2 weeks. We got, didn't go to the supermarket, didn't go anywhere. We got packed in and ready to go. Filled up the car with gas and then didn't leave for like 12 days and then hit the road, drove out here, rubber gloves at gas stations. And by the way, everybody gets really, really lax once you get into the Midwest. Nobody really cares. I was like, is there a global pandemic or not? I was driving through Missouri and we stopped at a gas station, and I mean, there was like 20 pumps at this giant gas station, and there wasn't a single employee or a single person that went in or out in 10 or 15 minutes with a mask or gloves that I saw. Not one person. They were just like living their life. Guy rolled out full camo with like leaves, like fake leaves coming off of his shirt.
A ghillie suit?
Yeah, a ghillie suit. Totally a ghillie suit. 3 Bud Light 24-ounce cans, 9 a.m.
Beautiful.
And no mask. And I was just like, he's not going to let COVID bother his hunting trip.
That's Oklahoma PPE.
No, he's just
Camo and beer.
He's going to drink 24 beers and then a half a bottle of bleach, and he'll be good.
Yeah. But anyway, we were very excited to get out here, and now we're going to lay low here for a couple weeks. And then if everything looks good, we'll be in a better position to go out to the store or interact with Oklahomans. Because right now we are like the plague people. We have our New Jersey license plate. We're like, hide the license plate. Back the car in. Put a curtain over the front of it.
It's actually funny. You're like a reverse Tom Joad. Because like you took a journey to Oklahoma during a major economic disaster.
Yeah, it was like
the promised land.
Yeah.
I was telling Aaron, we're like fleeing the zombie apocalypse into the West, like into the deep West. Like, it's taking the coast. We have to drive inland.
It's like the end of Terminator.
Stop. So I'm set up here now. I'm in my father-in-law's office, and he's got some cool shit in here. He asked me about lighting. He's like, "Do you need lighting?" And I was like, "It's all right. I'll bring a couple desk lights that I can use." And he was like, "All right." So then I get here, and he's like, "Did you bring those lights?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Because Jan's, this is my mother-in-law. Jan's father got really into cinematography and photography and stuff in the 50s. And we have all of his equipment, and I got it all out of like the attic, and he was opening these
like a Klieg light.
Here, hold on.
That's amazing.
It's like one of those things with a poof and the
like
smoke
these
comes
old
out.
ass like tin cases, and
Beautiful.
inside
that.
are these lights that he was like, I tested them out and they work great, but they got to like 1,000 degrees in about 30 seconds. Look at this thing.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Like these old ass lights. He was like, it'll get a little hot in there. So I was like, I think I'll just use my desk lamps, but thank you. It's very thoughtful.
Wow, that's awesome.
Did you tell him you were recording a talkie on Thursday night?
Yeah. So anyway, the point being, there's a lot more fun, exciting stuff happening in my life now than there was a few weeks ago. So we're excited to be here.
Hunting, fishing, and loving every day.
I fished today. I literally fished today. They have a pond out back. It was
Did you
glorious.
catch anything?
Yeah, just some perch, little ones, little guys. But it was with the kids, and they love it. They love it. Gwen makes me put the fish on the grass first. She's like, put it on the grass. Then she pets it and then throws it into the water. She loved it.
Good.
You don't hold it in front of her and watch the life go out of its eyes.
Now watch, honey.
No,
Here's where
watch.
you can see the life go out of its eyes.
He just
Watch.
traumatizes the perch for life.
He's not twitching as much anymore, honey.
I don't know what happened. A small one of them pet me before they threw me back in this time. It was a strange ritual.
Good family bonding. Skid, you're finally on the mend. Thank God. I know you've been taking some walks, getting some fresh air. What the hell else you got going on? Now that you're able to do things.
I got a special gift for my dad a couple weeks ago.
The gift of laughter?
Yeah, in a way. I commissioned a video greeting from one of his heroes and mine, John Cleese.
Really? Like a cameo video or something?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And I haven't even said anything. Like, I didn't want to like post it or anything because I wanted, in the vain hope that I could show it to you guys in person so I could see the looks on your faces. But I will eventually. But it was amazing. Like, he was super gracious, and he told like a couple of stories, and he made fun of my name.
Wow.
He was like, Skids. He's like, what is that? Is that an anagram for something? And so it was awesome. It was really cool. My dad, like,
That's amazing.
My dad just freaked out. He just completely flipped out. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
really cool.
How long a video did they make for those? It was like,
Oh, it was like 3 minutes long.
Wow.
It was substantial. Yeah, it was great.
That's really cool. You know,
Yeah.
I have some friends that do that, and I was like, are people really into that? And I think it's like TikTok. It's just exploding now. Everybody's doing Cameo.
Yeah, I actually jumped on it like the minute that I saw like that he was on there, and then I'm glad I did because his price doubled. Because like everybody was just like, oh my, it was a very low price for a man of his stature. So I was able to get a real bargain there. But yeah, it was awesome. Like
that's
truly
cool.
great. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. It's good to see you guys. You know, we've been we're getting in this groove. I don't know how long we're going to be doing this, but for all intents and purposes, I would assume this is going to be the normal for a while, because even once we're able to get back into business, it's going to be a while to kind of record enough to stay on schedule. We can't just jump right back in and like release stuff the next week. It's just not going to work that way. So I think this is going to be our normal for a little bit. You know, I hope that these Glass Cannon lives are going to happen before the end of the year, because I'm really missing them. I didn't realize how much I miss them. When you're in it, like it feels like, oh God, we got to do another one of these things. I haven't even written anything. And then, you know, you go a little bit time away from it. You really miss it. I miss seeing the Naish. I miss the after party. I miss Strange Aeons. So
I just miss being around people in general, but like, but that is like being around the crowds, and like, it's just something. So it feels like something from another planet at this point, but yeah, I want to get back to it too.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to happen sooner than later. I've been talking to our agent actually yesterday, already looking to book some 2021 dates. So one way or another, this will be happening. In the meantime, got a little show called Side Quest Sesh. And man, were things off the chain a little bit last week. I meant to go back and listen to who each person was that I made up on the spot, and I just had a lot going on today, so I wasn't able to do it. But I did. I think I did keep track of the names. There was Zeddy Little Knees.
Yep.
There was Old Johnny Clubfoot, whose father was Barnacle Clubfoot, and of course Vinegar Tom.
Vinegar Tom, rest in peace.
Now deceased Raven.
Hardly
and then there was Harry Beaupain, who was the other contestant in the Greased Pig contest, where we finished last session. But obviously, the whole point of what you guys wanted to do when you first got in there, before the games began, was gather information. And you know, while some of these people were dead ends, I think you did learn a couple of things that just keep adding some pieces to the puzzle of what may have happened to Mr. Kyle, and what may be going on here in Ravenmore, because it's just a feeling that something doesn't seem right, but you can't put your finger on it, because everybody that you've come in contact with, although they've been weird, everybody's really nice, and you see them embracing this festival as like a real community who looks forward to this like it's the town fair coming to their fair village every single month, and they're really getting into it. So the games were a big part of that, and they were amazed, obviously, by the professor hitting a target from 100 feet away with a screaming star, because it had never been done. And
that was actually ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, that's not just like, oh wow, you really impressed these yokels. Like, that was, you threw a star knife 100 feet?
100 feet, yeah.
Wasn't that
and hit the bullseye?
Wasn't that a natural 20?
I think it was.
There were natural 20s involved. Oh,
we have maybe donated for me hitting a 100-foot away target with a star knife.
Was it?
Sorry, Matthew. It was not a confirmed critical. These, we have very intense rules here.
Yes.
About our... No, we definitely should have. I didn't even think of it. It was an attack roll. It did have the attack trait to use Pathfinder 2 parlance.
Was I the only one? I feel like somebody else rolled a 22.
There were I think there were like 3 20s rolled.
I'm shocked we didn't. Maybe it was during the acrobat thing, that when you were jumping over the flame, the leapers.
I know there were at least 2 20s rolled during the target practice thing. At least 2.
Grant, did you hit one?
You threw your star knife straight through the hole. Because I landed like a crit basically on the first one, and then you nailed it. I missed the second target, or I hit the second target and I missed the last target. I can't remember which.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, it all ends up with you guys after the Raven fights, with two of you, Karizor and Alfonso, taking part in the traditional catch the greased pig contest. Pig comes out, and the pig looks a little off. Nobody really did anything to check it out. But you just jump into it, and I think Alfonso grabbed it, and then Harry Beaupain pulled it off you, and then Karizor grabbed it, and Alfonso pulled it out of Karizor. Braven throws in a friggin' Tanglefoot bag or a Tangle Flame bag and hits Harry Beaupain, almost murders him.
Almost is the key word there, and no one saw it.
No one saw it. No one was the wiser as far as you know. And then Karizor, just fed up with this, just goes and attacks the pig. And the pig, whether from the attack or just shock of this happening, dies on the spot. And then moments later, starts twitching, lurches itself back to life, sprouts a second pair of legs, and then fly traps and shit start popping out all over it as its pupils go completely black. Let's go to the old Roll20.
Oh
maps.
my God.
That's amazing. I mean,
First of all, let's take a look at where the hell is this thing? What this thing looks like. Here we go. Here we go. Look at that.
That's gross.
Oh,
Why?
yeah, and why fly traps? Like what a weird random
Why?
thing to pop out of a pig. Oh,
That
I don't
thing,
like
and that's to scale too. I forgot to mention. That is,
It looks
Really?
like it's bleeding out of its eye sockets.
yeah, it's having a rough day for sure.
That thing, we should just like back away and let it die on its own.
Also,
That thing, like
the first thing I noticed was the 6 legs, which I think you did mention. But then, did you also mention the udders? It's got a lot of udders.
Oh, I didn't mention the udders.
is it a sow?
Oh, it's a sow.
Oh no,
Suey.
it's a Venus fly sow.
Venus fly sow. First thing that happens is obviously it comes to life, but then Karizor and Alfonso are so horrified by its appearance. I need you both to roll a will save.
come on. Hold it together, Alfonso. Hold it together.
Oh no.
Is a 4? Is that a success?
It was a CR 1/2 creature.
Oh.
No, that's a fail. What about you, Alfonso?
Open the night with a natty 20, baby.
Oh.
Natty 20.
4 and the 20. Well, it makes sense. Karizor is right on top of it because not only are you watching this, you are smelling it, and it's right there
I had
up
it
in
in
your
my mouth
business.
too. I was biting it, so
Yeah, it's in my mouth. It's in my mouth.
It's in my mouth. Oh God. You are immediately sickened.
I sure
for
am.
one round as this thing has just horrified you as bits of it are falling out of your mouth. Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh,
Let's get
baby.
down.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Come
just stop
on.
screwing around. Let's get down to business. We're playing the game, rolling dice,
Rolling rocks
believing
tonight.
it's really nice. All right. Let me open my Don John. Karizor, what'd you get?
I got a 0.
Zero.
Is that a first time on the show?
-1 to my I have a we should donate for natural zeros.
Natural
I don't-
zeros.
I have a -1 to my initiative because I'm second and I rolled a 1.
A 1. All right, so we'll call it a 1. I think that's as low as it goes. Braven?
I feel a lot better. Like when I watch reality TV, I have a 7. By comparison, it's great.
Oh,
Wow.
Infinitely better.
Infinitely.
Alfonso Moria.
19.
Wow, this is Bizarro World.
Yeah, coming out hot.
What about the Nutty Professor?
19 as well.
Oh, who
Ooh.
takes the
Plus 3
pole
for me.
position?
I have +4.
Oh. Then you may go, my lady.
Oh, the professor will go first. Professor will go first in the round. You see the map, little tiny pig pen. Obviously, Braven and the professor are on the outside of this pen, so it would require some sort of leap, some sort of acrobatic move, or climb to get over and in, if that's something you were interested in. I'm sure Grant is ready to just dive right in there and mix it up with this pig. What do you want to do, Professor?
Is there a knowledge check I can roll?
Yeah, dude. How about a fucking arcana?
I don't have that. So
No, wait, no. Planes.
I don't have that either. So
No, it's planes.
it's plans.
Yeah.
Hey, what else you got in there?
I was saying-
Okay. So the professor will draw a longbow.
Move action.
And she will fire off a shot at the pig.
Okay.
Well, Matthew wants to fire off a shot, but maybe this is part of the tradition. You know what?
Ask somebody next-
Tradition.
The professor will turn to somebody in the crowd and say, "Does this usually happen? Is this a tradition?"
Guy says, "Well, you got an unexpected Founders Festival."
I'm sorry. Did you say I have to expect the unexpected at the Founders Day Festival?
Yep.
Right. So, this has happened before, or no? Is still trying to get a solid answer on that.
No, I ain't seen nothing like this, but weird stuff happens all the time.
Great, thank you. And then the professor's turn is over.
That's it.
Oh, great.
Well, I don't know. I assumed that was
Your turn.
that was going to be some sort of standard action to have a conversation over the course of 6 seconds.
Jesus.
I mean, no, we usually just. I think I was reading it the other day. It's like I saw a cheat sheet. It said it could be like X amount of seconds long, and I'm like, oh, we never play that way. I'm fine with you taking a standard.
Okay, well then, knowing that, I will now shoot at the.
Okay. I like that you were afraid that you were going to interrupt the festivities.
If this is part of it.
Do
Maybe
you have precise shot? Are you like an archery built?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I will be taking the -4 if that's what you're leading.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
worried about that.
So with the -4 is only an 11 to hit.
Swoom! Flies past, does not hit the target. Maybe Alfonso will have better luck. Alfonso, you're about 15 feet away. You see Karazor standing there like he's ready to blow. Blood dripping out of his mouth from the pig that was dead but is now back alive. What do you do?
I will do that knowledge check.
No,
You said it was
planes?
planes, right?
Yeah.
Have I ever seen anything like this before? That is a 15.
15. Okay, this is a creature known as a. We're gonna butcher this, but it's a Sithnagot. One thing you realize that this creature is an unusually oversized Sithnagot. They're normally tiny. You don't know why.
I was going to say, this seems like a pretty big Sithnagot.
As far as Sithnagots go, this one is larger than normal.
Never seen a Sithnagot this large.
It's the prize. Sithnagot.
Yeah.
We are at a fair.
Well, it is a county fair, exactly. Where's the blue ribbon?
What are you mainly interested in? I can give you one bit of useful.
One
If
bit of
there's something
useful.
specific you want. Otherwise, I'll just give you something.
Yeah, I will. Does it have any resistance to or weakness to fire?
Yes, it has resistance 10 to fire.
Good to know.
Good. Good knowledge check. Good knowledge check.
Yeah. All right. So realizing that his alchemist abilities are gonna have to wait for a second, he's gonna. Oh man, resistance 10 fire, and I don't even know yet if it has DR, but he's gonna say fuck it and try to get at this thing. So he's going to take a 5-foot step. As part of that action, he'll draw his rapier. His cold iron rapier, and
You're now flanking the pig.
I'm going to take a
yeah.
flanking bonus and go ahead and try to stab this thing.
Taking that first round flank bone.
Out of the Johnski. That is a
Hit it right in the flank bone.
That is a 16 with flanking.
That is a hit.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well done, dude. That is 4 points of piercing damage.
And what kind of weapon do you have?
A piercing cold iron weapon. Piercing cold iron rapier.
Looks like that really that damaged him for sure.
Okay.
All right, Alfonso's able to step up into a flanking position with this Synthagot. Stab it, and it starts crying. But oddly enough, its cries don't sound like the squeals of a pig, but the mewling of an infant.
What?
Very, very unsettling.
This thing needs to pick like 1 or 2 disturbing elements and just stick with them. Don't
Go home,
keep
Synthagot.
piling on disturbing things that it's doing. Just
Go home, Synthagot. You're drunk. All right. It's its turn, and it wants to go to Bite Town. The question is, does it bite Carizor, or does it bite Alfonso? I would
I'll
like.
leave it to you to decide, Troy.
I would
both
like.
damaged it.
I would like Matthew to decide by rolling a d6. Matthew will say 1 through 3 is Carizor.
Wait, no, don't tell me. Just let me roll, and you tell me what it means.
Don't tell me the odds.
Okay, I just told you.
6.
My guess.
It's like it's all bite on Alfonso.
I'm worried about this because I think Troy passed the buck because this is going to be a really nasty bite.
I didn't want to leave this up to my own decision making. Hold on here.
Yo, what?
Okay,
Your dice could be trusted with this decision?
this is going to be a 15 to bite you.
Miss.
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 That is really good for you. So you just see this thing, eyes bleeding, black pupils just covered in blood. Tries to bite you and just misses. Where it is flanked there, I guess you know what it's going to do is just kind of like hover away 5 feet. So it's just like it lifts off the ground and flies away 5 feet.
It's flying?
Yeah, but did I mention it's flying as well?
You did not mention that, I don't think.
That seemed to have slipped your
Stick
mind.
with 2 things.
It looks like the little Venus flytraps are providing it with the ability to fly. So it's just while those mouths flap away. It is Braven's turn. Braven, what are you gonna do with this pig roast?
Braven kind of bumps in through the crowd and kind of like, oh, there's a pig here? What's going on here? I had no idea. Was there some sort of contest going on here? I'm not a hobgoblin, and I wasn't in a tree earlier. And he's not wearing armor, by the way. He's not wearing armor right now, which is rough. But he's going to immediately call up a shield of water that rotates around him, and he is going to fire out a water blast at this creature.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, are people screaming in horror, or are they like, this is interesting. Wow. So this only happens every couple of months. Or are they like, never seen anything like this before?
They are reacting with a solid mix of both fear and disgust for the most part. But no one's really, this is all happening very fast. No one's really moving to do anything. And Harry Beaupain is entangled by a bag. So it's really up to you guys.
All right.
If only Harry Beaupain could have helped out. But this weird Tangleflame bag came in from the sky. And
well,
it was the
almost killed
pig.
him.
I dedicate this
Extraplanar attack.
I dedicate this water blast in loving memory of Harry Beaupain. Come on, Harry Beaupain. We are talking about a 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right.
Yeah, you go, dude.
Here it
There
comes.
you go.
Here it comes.
So that water shield you do is a swift action, right?
Immediate action.
Immediate action. So you bathe yourself in this defense, and then you're still able to lay out this sweet spell.
And it will cause 16 points of bludgeoning damage against this creature.
Ooh.
That is nuts. That damage output.
Now that's magic, right? It's
For the
not just
purposes
water.
of damage reduction, it is magic. Does
Okay,
it
good. Just
seem like it all
asking for a
went
friend.
through to Braven?
It sure does.
Okay, great.
It sure does. Yeah, you definitely hit it and damaged it.
Oh, and one other note that Matthew brought up that I've been doing incorrectly. I took the wrong feat order. Kinetic blasts also count as range for the purposes of shooting into melee and whatnot. So keep me honest on that.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
Karizor, you are up. You were the one that started this, but its horrific appearance was enough to keep you a little slow on the go here at the fight. What do you want to do?
I think it was more for me because I've literally like gulped a mouthful of its blood.
That would do it.
I'm vomiting. So he's still like his paws. He's like scraping off of his tongue, and he's like retching. And he's also doesn't have any, doesn't have a weapon. So he's like looking at this thing, and it's just like, if I want to hurt it, I have to bite it again. So it's like, and he turns to Alfonso, and he says, I think I might just give up adventuring forever. When pigs fly, and he winks. and he's,
I know. That's all I know.
He steps up, and he's gonna bite at it. Futilely. Oh, natural 20.
Oh, hell yes!
Get it started, dude.
And
Yes.
natural 1 on the confirm. Unfortunately,
Oh, come on.
that's just not that great. But let's see, that is 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage on the bite. And you do see that it doesn't all go through. As you bite at it, it has some sort of damage reduction. But man, you felt like you got like a vital organ in whatever this horrible extraplanar creature is, but you just missed it. It's a new round. It's the professor's turn. Professor, you've been taking notes in your head, I'm assuming, watching everyone. Take a go at this.
Yeah, so it looks things have gotten a little clustered here. So the professor will drop the longbow, and as she moves along the fence, she'll draw a silver long sword.
Okay.
Step up, and can I stab down like over the fence to hit the pig?
Let's see. Where are you there? Yeah, sure. I'm going to give it a +2 to its AC.
All right, so I won't do power attack, knowing that it would be a tougher hit.
Sure. Yeah. You don't want to sacrifice accuracy right now.
Yeah. Natural 2.
Oh,
Brutal.
come on now.
Oh, brutal. I thought that was going to be it for the professor. Alfonso, you see the professor just kind of step up and just kind of stab over, but misses wildly.
I'm going to I'm just gonna do it again. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it again. Step forward, press the assault on this creature, and stab again. This time not flanking. Nope. Natural 4. Another miss in a row. The creature is faster than I expected. Yeah, another miss.
All right, Grant, go ahead and roll a 1d6 for me to see who it's going to attack, Karizor or Alfonso.
Grant, roll it right.
I rolled a 5.
That is going to be Karizor this time.
No.
around. It sees you taking a bite out of it and gets a wild idea. It says, what if? Now go with me on this. I take a bite out of you!
No.
18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's very definitely a hit.
Let's talk about the damage first. 11 points of damage. Now, all of a sudden it hits you and you feel things coming out of its mouth and crawling into the open wounds on your skin.
Oh no, come
Roll
on.
a fortitude save to fight it back. Fight them back into its body.
Fight it back. Natural 3.
Oh God. Okay. You feel this thing coming into your body from the bite, and all of a sudden it overwhelms you as you get infested by quickly growing, semi-animate tangles of fungal growths that start popping out of your body, very similar to the Synthagot, but so much so that it entangles you. So you have tendrils growing out of your body that are leaving you effectively entangled in Pathfinder terms.
Cordyceps.
You take wait, you're not a plant creature. Yes, this is a horrible spore-like disease.
Jeez.
And almost max damage with 11 points of damage as well.
Ugh.
Brutal.
Awful.
Brutal. You guys see this go down. You see Karizor just sprouting things. You're wondering, is that from the pig's bite or from him biting the pig? Okay, first the chicken or the egg?
Someone give me a chicken.
Braven's turn. Braven, you're the first one to be able to react to
boy, Braven. But he's still. This attack is gruesome, hideous to see his friend get all these things just stick out of him. So in just total fear, he's going to you're going to see a surge of water just kind of gush out from him, kind of like he's trying to hold back a burp. It shoots out of the shield, and he suppresses the overflow for a moment and forms a fist in between his hands and shoots it out at this creature.
this. Ooh, water fist?
Yeah, water fist at a -4 in melee. So that's only going to be a +2 to this roll. Come on. Oh, out of the box, of course.
Sure was.
10 total.
Oh, my goodness. I think its horrifying visage is disturbing all of you. You're not able to find your mark. Karizor, you are entangled. Does somebody have that right next to them, what the penalties are? I'm sure it's a penalty of movement, but it might be AC as well.
Yeah.
You ever do that? Like, I'll just Google entangled, but forget to add Pathfinder.
-2 penalty on all attack rolls and a -4 to dex.
Yep.
And I believe you can move, but it's like half speed or something like that, or only 5 feet. Like, I don't think you're rooted to the ground.
Half speed.
Exactly.
Half speed cannot run or charge.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, see, that's brutal because it hits you, bites you, infests you with these spores, and then it lowers your dexterity for it to just keep hitting and biting you. All right, so what do you think, Karizor? I can tell you right now, Karizor, you, as a standard action, you can try to rip the tendrils free, and that will be another fortitude save to rip them free, if that's something you want to do, or you can just try to act normally with the penalties.
Yeah, he is. So it's a fortitude save to get to rip free.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Standard action. That is weird. Yeah, maybe it's like you have to kind of power your way through it because it's so gross.
Yeah, some of the inner strength.
So he's like, someone please kill this porcine monstrosity. Natural 3. Natural 3 again. Again. That's
so
Norse
bad.
Foundry. Norse Foundry dice. For all your random number generating needs. Norse Foundry.
Was that the same when I rolled a 20 just last round?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you really know how to promote well? You choose your moments well.
That's why we get all those big contracts.
Right. All those years you spent in the advertising business, they haven't been rubbed off.
They love it. The customers they love it.
A miss by Karizor, but he's got a lot going on. It's understandable. Professor, you're right there still on the other side of the fence. You know it's a tough target to hit because you're kind of stabbing down in it. Even though this isn't a normal-sized Synthogot, you're still having trouble.
What if I were to use an acrobatics check for my move action to kind of like boost myself up on the fence and stab down? Do you think that would be a clearer shot?
I like it. Yeah, you want to kind of like get up on one of the rungs of the pen, and like leap up to there and then stab down. Sure. You know what I'll do is if you make the acrobatics check, I'll say that's like attacking from higher ground, and so that will eliminate the whatchamacallit penalty. The
cover.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so the acrobatics check. 15.
15. You make it up on that second rung, no problem, and now you got a nice clean shot down at it.
Alright.
No penalties to the attack.
21 to hit.
Ooh,
That's a hit, my friend.
beautiful.
Excellent. Okay. And that is going to be 5 points of damage with a silver longsword.
5 points of damage with a silver longsword. It doesn't do any damage.
Oh, my friend.
It's like The Witcher.
Steve! Shouldn't have used Silver Sheen before the fight. It's a
Yeah.
rookie move, Kabakaza.
The
The
sword is
Witcher.
made. The sword is silver.
I know. It was a Witcher joke.
What's the Witcher?
That's,
What's a Witcher? Oh, God damn it, Matthew.
what's Snapchat? What's a Witcher? Alfonso, you see this sick move out of the mild-mannered professor. Jumps up on the second round and gets a nice clean shot, hits it, and the pig doesn't even react.
Okay. All right. Well, I seem to be doing damage to it, though I was a little freaked out by it. Missed last turn. I'm just going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing the action right here.
Push
All right.
that action.
First, I'm going to roll to hit it. I think I'm good. 20. Adjusted 20.
That is a hit.
Okay. I do 8 points of damage with a cold iron rapier, and does some of it get through, or does it seem like it takes the full brunt of the attack?
Seems like it takes the full brunt.
All right, so seeing the silver and then seeing the cold iron, Alfonso, being an extremely intelligent man, is going to be like, it seems to be weak to cold iron, and then perhaps the water from Braven. So try to make your weapons suddenly cold iron. Your teeth, Corizor, change them to cold iron. Waste no time.
Make water on your cold iron weapons.
Make water.
Come on, my
All
friend.
right.
All right. It is its turn. Alfonso has been laying out significant damage. Luckily, you had the weapon necessary, it looks like, to get through. All right. It is effectively surrounded now on three sides with the professor on the other side of the fence there. It looks upset by that last attack from Alfonso. So it is going to attempt to withdraw. And so, unfortunately, my map isn't large enough here. So we're going wide.
We're going off map?
We're going off map. Wait, why did I just do that?
What?
Troy?
Troy, are you there?
What happened? Hello? All right,
no.
I'm back. All right, so it is going to do a full withdraw, which, that is still going to
Provoke.
I think that's still going to provoke from
From two of
Karizor.
us, I think, in any direction. Or
Yeah, all
maybe-
right. I'm gonna try it. It's gonna try and do a full withdraw, and it can fly pretty far. So yeah, I think it can fly 60
Damn.
feet. So full withdraw would be 120. It's gone at this point unless you guys can hit it. Professor and Karizor, you both get a shot. Karizor, you want first stab?
Yes.
First
He
bite?
will snap at it with his slavering, vomit-caked jaws. Natty 13. So that's an 11.
11 is a miss.
No.
Because of the second, that would have been a hit otherwise.
It
Very
wouldn't have
low.
gone through anyway, unless I rolled a 6. So
Yeah, unless you rolled higher. It's got DR5 obviously at this point. I can tell you that. Professor, last chance here.
Silver longsword. So here's what happens. That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Seven, 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. And you kill it.
Oh, dude, 2 points? You got
Oh,
it?
hell yes.
Wow, huge.
Yeah, you are able to take it out, and it tries to fly away, and you hit it, and it just.
In the book you write about the traditions of this town, you're going to be like 4 chapters. You've created so many legends as you've been here.
I'm just a humble professor. If only the crystal ghost had been here, then you would have seen some real heroing.
I don't know why you'd bring her up.
I don't either.
Very random thing to say. I don't know why.
I mean, it's just a random person that I happen to be friends with. But
Oh well, that's true. That's true. You are close, even though I've never seen you together, which is curious.
no, we don't like to advertise our relationship, but we are just friends. Occasionally we hang out and do things, but
Well, it
mostly-
seems to me like you avoid each other assiduously.
Yes, I can see how it would seem that way, but I assure you we are the closest of casual friends.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, pardon me while I try to uproot myself.
Yeah, so Karizor, if you take some time, you're able to rip all of these semi-animate tangles of fungal growths off of you. And they just fall to the ground and like twitch for a little bit. And then now that they no longer have you as a host, they twitch and then they stop twitching on the ground.
That's so gross.
Do we have any reason to believe we might have to amputate the leg?
Of your friend?
I was asking Alfonso. What do you think, Alfonso?
Well, let me take a look. Yes, definitely. No other course of action.
The professor draws her sword again.
Didn't even roll
I'll
a
take
check.
care of it.
Don't worry, Carazor. It will be clean because it is a silver blade.
No, I don't care. Please, don't
Ready
cut
the
off my leg.
saltpeter for the cat. What
Not
do you
the
do when
leg.
you? Oh God, I'm missing the word. When you cauterizing. Ready the saltpeter for the cauterizing.
No, please, don't corner me, please. I'll be good.
Roll to hit.
Nah, I'm just joshing you.
Oh.
The crowd goes from like to like recovering pretty quickly from it and going about their business. A couple of the townspeople, they finally get up to there because this all happened over the course of like 24 seconds, not even. And a couple of the, bigger people there take it and we're gonna take it over there and burn it. Obviously, make sure that whatever's in it ain't coming back, because we saw it come back to life from up there on that hill. We're gonna burn it, make sure it don't come back no more. And so they bring it out, and they're carrying it over to like a bonfire nearby, and they just throw it in the fire, and they stand there watching it, and it's like not catching. It's like not burning in the fire.
Right. It will not work. He tells
And
them. Alfonso tells them.
They like throw things on it, more tinder to see if that would help. Pour some moonshine, some hayshine onto it. And, you did not get the fire going, but it ain't working. You have to waste a good hayshine. And the fire starts going crazy, but it barely burns, like barely starts to get singed. So you see them like use a stick to poke it out of the fire. And then they throw water on it, and they drag it to the back of the festival, and you see them just throw it down the hill into the river.
Oh.
And then the river just takes it away.
Into the river.
And then the festival just takes up again.
Sure, why not?
They seem to recover unusually quickly.
Oh, come on.
And the mayor stands up and is like, well, now that unfortunate beast has been taken care of by our humble guests, we should let the Founder's Feast begin and forget that this ever happened. Let the feast commence. And so... yeah, sundown is approaching at this point, and the villagers start lighting more bonfires. All of these ones free of magical pigs.
And it's love that they just go right back as if nothing happened.
Go right back. They're lighting bonfires all along the perimeter of the festival grounds, and it illuminates the whole area as various preparations are drawn to the central tables. They start spreading out quilts, scattering benches about, clearing away all of the games that you play, the hay bales and the fence for the raven fights and whatnot. And as this is happening, you see that the feast just kind of begins without any fanfare, as steaming hot plates of the day's labors are starting to be distributed. Enough of you have won contests or otherwise impressed the mayor in this fight with the magical extraplanar pig that you've been invited to sit at his table. So you guys are ushered up to the head table, which is on a dais, and the mayor is shaking your hand and is like, thank you. We're not accustomed to things like that happening during the greased pig contest. I'm sure you don't have those back where you're from, but I do appreciate you stepping in. You didn't have to do that. I know that's not why you're here, and we really appreciate it. The least I can do is offer you a seat at my table. And he motions to some other people. It's like, this here is the Elder Council, and then there are the other victors of other events, like there were other games going on, and so they're all sitting there as well. You don't see the mayor's brother, though. He's still not there, but he was kind of a weirdo, so you're not that surprised. And yeah, the food is starting to come out. You look around, and it seems like there are a number of different families responsible for different aspects of the meal, and you can see them just proudly making their way to each table or pavilion and serving everyone as much as they can eat of whatever they're providing to the feast. And then eventually all of you are served, and I'll get into what's on your plate in a second, but once everyone has their food in front of them, Mayor Kriegler stands up again for a short benediction to bless the meal and give thanks. And so he bows his head, and everybody else bows his head, and he's like, "Oh, slumbering dreamer, whose gossamer cloak protects us. Please bless this meal today that we share with friends and neighbors, family, and even newcomers here to Ravenmoor." He lifts his head, smiles in your direction. Please keep us safe, and if it be your will, make our land fertile once again. Dig in, everybody. And everybody starts eating, and you see plated in front of you, among the usual fare of whole fresh greens, roasted pig that is thankfully not the pig that you just killed, fresh baked breads, delicacies you may not be familiar with are on the plate as well. You see these robust-looking black mushrooms that look like they're bursting with flavor. There's a salad lightly dressed with these leafy greens that you're not familiar with. And then there's fried silkworm pupae served on wooden platters atop a bed of caraway seeds. And then there are these smoked tick legs, and one of the people at the table is like, "Oh yeah, see, let me tell you how they make these. They take the hard chitinous legs of the giant tick, and they smoke them. You smoke them for about 5-6 hours. You want to do it low and slow, and then after you smoke them, this is the secret. This is where all the flavor comes from. You boil them, and you got to serve them steaming hot. Don't be afraid. Not going to hurt your mouth. You want to bite into them while they're red hot." And you see them like we would eat a lobster, like they're using little tiny lobster forks to crack the shell of the tick leg to get the meat inside. And people are just eating away at it.
Did you hear that, Karazor? That backroads bumpkin said chitinous instead of chitinous. What a moron.
Yes, I wasn't going to say anything, but...
No, we need to call them out when they make mistakes like that.
You're right. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, what?
Chitinous. It's chitinous. I don't want to embarrass you in front of all of your friends, but it is chitinous.
I'm pretty sure it's chitinous.
Well, you're in charge, after all.
Chitinous. Let's call the whole thing off.
That's lovely.
Oh, don't make sure you... Yeah, go ahead.
He turns to the professor, like kind of elbows her. Says, it's too bad that your friend, the Crystal Ghost, wasn't here to appreciate your incredible joke about cutting off my leg earlier.
Yes, well, the Crystal Ghost would, Crystal Ghost's sense of humor is not quite as refined as mine. She might have just cut your leg off. She might have thought I was being serious.
Oh, well then perhaps it's a good thing. I didn't know she was so literal.
She's a very literal hero.
I learn new things about your friend every day, it seems. Sorry, you were saying something, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor.
That's not me. I'm one of the elders.
Oh, Mr. Elder.
I'm telling you what's on your plate. My name is... Oh,
what is this faint seasoning that I detect?
On the chitinous tick leg?
Yes.
That's Old Bay.
Old Bay.
Old Bay.
Oh, no.
That is the first normal thing that's happened in this town. Is seasoning with a little Old Bay.
That's the secret of Ravenmoor spices. Mostly Old Bay.
Mostly Old Bay.
I prefer Lowry salt.
Here's the thing, though. If you like those tick legs, or if you don't like them, just make sure you try the Sturge blood sausage. You see that on the plate, and you see this like big, thick, red, like puddingy type sausage. It's like, this is our most popular delicacy, and it's prepared from the blood sac of the sturges, because that's where all the flavor comes from. They wait until they're quite really engorged, and then they pluck them fresh, put them right in the oven, and in the oven it gets even bigger in there. And right before it's ready to burst, they pull it out, and then they pinch the abdomens off and twist it, leaving all the blood in there, and that's how you make the casing. And then they stuff that casing with all full of blood and whatnot, with spices and rye berries and a little more Old Bay, and then you boil that. We love boiling things afterwards. And then what happens is the blood and the spices and the Old Bay and the grains, they congeal, forming a briny sausage that is unlike anything you ever tasted. And I've been eating them for a long time because I'm one of the town elders.
Mr. Elder, why do they boil it after seasoning it? Wouldn't the seasoning just wash away in the water?
No, not when you use river water.
You mean the river that we just disposed the diseased pig into, and all the dead bodies are found in?
Well, we did it before the pig was thrown in, so it's probably fine.
I'm sorry. Do you have any people food? I'm sorry. I mean, food fit for human consumption.
Are you one of those vegetarians?
Well, I would love some veggies if you have any, as an alternative to what you're currently offering. Yes.
Well, there's the salad there. Have you ever had flavor?
Oh, salad! I didn't know you had salad. Thank you. I'll just excuse myself.
Excellent. Salad.
Oh yeah, no, that's a special salad. I think you're gonna like that one, especially if you ain't never had flay leaf. Go ahead, take a bite.
So he starts goes to the salad bar. What is the salad?
It's this like leafy green that you saw in the mayor's house, and you've seen a little bit around town. It's called flay leaf.
That doesn't sound good.
Roll a knowledge nature check.
I do not have knowledge nature
or craft alchemy.
I'm sitting there. I can do either. Natural one.
So he takes his little tiny fork that for the tick legs, and he's like poking at it, the salad, and he like picks up a little bit of leaf of it. He's like, he sniffs it and like tastes it.
Eats it. It's looks like it's covered in malt vinegar. It's got a bitter and biting flavor, and you eat it and you start to feel a little euphoric. Roll a fortitude save.
Ooh, 20.
20. All right, so you eat it and you feel like, whew, a little bit heady. But you're able to gather your wits and you're like, that's unlike any salad I've ever eaten.
I think you should try the salad. This is really incredible.
Is it like giving him a buzz? Like what's
if he keeps downing it. So you just keep going after it. Yeah. I mean,
I'll eat it as well. Once he recommends it, I'll be like, oh, great.
All right, roll a fortune save.
I'll join too.
19.
Yeah, why not? He recommended it so highly.
19. Braven?
Braven got a 20.
20, okay.
23 for the professor.
All right, so at first bite, you all get that wave of like, what was that? But you're all able to stand firm. However, if you keep eating it, eventually you're going to, rule of sort of averages, you'll eventually fail one of these saves. And so you all take 1 wisdom damage, and you're fatigued for 1 hour. But you also get a +2 bonus against mind-affecting effects for the hour. Yeah. So it's like a mild intoxicant.
Wow.
Fortunately, the wisdom damage will last until you rest, but you're fatigued now for an hour, and you feel like you feel nice and relaxed and a little stupider.
Oh, boy. That salad really is incredible. I'm glad we all... Braven?
Yes.
Braven? Braven? Braven, you're...
Could you pass the ranch?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have I told you guys about my friend?
Oh, no.
My friend...
Braven. You've got to hear this. You've got to hear about a friend.
Alfonso's just doubled over in laughter. As soon as she says it, he's like,
do you know what you are?
I've got this friend.
Do you know what you are, Professor? You're
what?
You're really...
What am I?
You're really when you put your hair down, you're really pretty.
Oh,
I think you
horribly
should keep.
inappropriate.
I think. I'm sorry. It's just. It's not.
Do you know what my friend would say if she were here and she
What
heard
would
you
she
say
say?
something like that? She'd
Well-
say, "You stop it right now. Just stop it."
Do it
I
do it
better
in her
stop. I better
yeah,
stop, or else I might see the crystal ghost.
She would be like, "You stop it. You stop it right
Oh,
now."
ghosty, ghosty, ghosty.
uncanny impression of the crystal ghost. She does that better than anyone I've ever seen. It's incredible.
And then she'd like stabby stab and like beady beat.
That's the crystal ghost, all right.
My friend, it's my friend right there.
That's the crystal ghost, all right. Stabby, beady, beat.
She is known for her
You guys,
non-proportional responses.
I wish you guys could be there when she does it.
Oh,
Great.
Hey,
I missed
Great.
it.
hand me that tick. I want some of that tick.
You want to do the tick?
And he starts eating
Oh,
it.
I had so much tick earlier all day. It was so good. I couldn't stop eating it. I'm telling you. No, you think it's good. No, I know. I know you think it's going to be gross, but it is not. It is very, very good.
I didn't like it before, but now it's like it's good now.
It's
I don't know why.
Quiet face.
You guys know I'm a professor? I'm a professor.
Professor.
Yes. What are you, Professor?
Anthropology.
Anthropology. Why do I always forget?
Can anyone else still taste things?
No, that moment has passed.
My tongue feels numb.
Mayor, where's the mayor? Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I want to talk to that guy.
That
You
guy.
look around and everyone's left the festival, and you're just sitting at an empty table.
That guy's great.
How long
Where'd
have we
he go?
been here?
We can't stay too long. We have to get to the after party at the mayor's house.
After
After party.
That's where they're bringing in a dancing.
Where'd the music go? Where'd the music back up?
Where'd the music go?
All of a sudden. This reminds me so much, and I don't think we could ever do it justice, but do you remember there was that Jade Regent session where the cleric went to the party?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, one of the biggest
Matthew, were you
laughs-
there for that?
What
No,
party?
no.
No, that was
playing-
early.
when Chris
That was
playing.
with Chris. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was amazing. That was amazing.
That was great.
Wanna get wet?
He was a halfling, and
Yeah.
they invited him. This guy was like, "Show up at this place," and Troy's like, so you're gonna go?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." And like and so he was the only character that went, and it was like an all halfling opium party, and it was and you guys played for like an hour, and we just sat there laughing our asses off.
Are you cool?
Do you party?
It was like a Matthew move. Like, I want to go to that party, and I had to be like, but I didn't have a week to prepare. I was like, all right, we're going to that party.
Oh my
Side
God.
session, we all just did that.
I forgot all about that.
Eventually, after an hour of being fatigued and loopy from this thing, you still have the wisdom damage, but you've been just ravaging the rest of the food, the blood sausage, the tick legs, the silkworm, the black mushrooms, and everything, and you are stuffed. But you, in that moment, while you were doing that, you had a really good time, and you kind of got caught up in the festival. Maybe everybody's a little high.
And I just want to say, Alfonso, beyond that point, continues to eat flayleaf and tick legs, well beyond the point where you believe he is full. He continues to eat, and he's just like sitting over the side, a little pale. But this is so good, and he goes back for another one.
I'll assume then that you're constantly fatigued until you rest.
That's fine. I will take the fatigue condition.
So, you eat and you get caught up in it. You get a little stoned. And as that starts to wind down, and everyone is really like overeating because they're all probably, they've all dealing with the munchies. Mayor Kriegler stands up and gains everybody's attention, and he's still keeping it together because he's the host, and he's got at the after parties when he really lets loose. But you can see he's holding together, and he calls everyone's attention for the three families to present their daughters to the feasters. And so he's like,
Right.
attention, everybody, attention. Would the three families presenting their beautiful teenage daughters this evening please step forward? And you see three sets of parents step up, each with a young, probably 16-year-old daughter, all dressed in white silk robes with intricately braided hair. They're all different. You can tell that they spent all day working on this, and it's decorated with garlands of probably local flowers. And you see the Lupescus, Saul, Anya, and Shell, and two other families that you don't recognize. Maybe you saw them around town, but you didn't have the interaction with them like you did the Lupescus at the blacksmith and trading post. Mayor Kriegler bows his head. And as he does so, the families step back, and the girls leave their parents and start walking around to each table talking. Everybody roll a perception check.
23.
19.
27.
7.
All right, so everyone with the exception of Karizor can hear them talking, and it sounds... You can't catch every word of what they're saying, but it sounds like they're saying the same thing to each table, like they're recounting something.
They're telling the history of the festival. That's what they're saying.
So eventually, Shell comes up to your table, and where you were only catching bits and pieces,
Look at Joe.
Shell...
we go. She owes me a dance.
and
then he throws up the side of the table.
Bro, talk to her while he gets
fine
cleaned up.
silk napkin to his mouth. I'm so sorry.
She sees you, and she's like trying to keep it together, but she looks at you and she gets lost, and she kind of shakes out of it because she knows
He winks at her.
And she just starts sweating. And the mayor's there, so this is big because this is not only in front of you, this is in front of the mayor and the elders. And she stands up straight and kind of does one of these with her hands, where she clasps her fingers upside down, and she says, "The village of Ravenmoor was founded during the Chelish colonialism that saw the birth of much larger cities like Magnamar, Corvosa, and Riddleport. Yet where those cities flourished, Ravenmoor never progressed far beyond its rural beginnings, for in the early years the town was ravaged by what appeared to be a supernatural blight. With the villagers close to starvation, the town's founder, a priestess of Desna named Iola Kriegler, decided to undertake a vision quest to seek a solution to her villagers' problems. Deep within the Cherwood, Iola came upon a circle of druids from whom she learned how to become one with the land, to treat nature with respect, and thus ensure good harvests for her village for generations to come. She returned to Ravenmoor a changed woman, accompanied by her 2 druid advisors. Iola worked miracles, and the harvest that year and every year since has yielded enough bounty to keep the villagers well provided for and safe here in Ravenmoor. Iola's happy return brought prosperity back to the village by luring the crop's corruption to sleep on the soft wings of dreaming moths. Ravenmoor thrives through the dream tender's mercy in Iola's brave spirit that is carried on in the Kriegler line. And she looks at Mayor Kriegler, and he smiles and nods. And then she takes a deep breath, gives one last longing look at Alfonso, lingers for a moment, and then moves on
He
to the
claps.
next
Can we
table.
clap?
Yeah.
That was inspiring and wonderful. I had wondered over and over again what the history of this town was, and it is so nice to finally know and to be told by such an eloquent individual. Well done.
She curtsies and moves on. And the mayor's like, "That was very nice of you. We don't always clap for the young girls, but we should. We should do that more. They work hard on this." And
Mayor, getting up and speaking in
Yes.
front of a crowd of people the way you do, you make it look so easy. And perhaps now, after many, many years, it comes easy to you. But you do not forget how difficult it is to stand in front of people and speak so smoothly and eloquently as she has done. It is very, very impressive and deserves to be applauded.
no, you're not wrong. Maybe it's because I don't need the applause that I expect nobody else does as well, because I may look like I know what I'm doing up there, but I still get the pre-festival jitters every time this day of the month comes around. But that's very nice of you to say, and I'm sure the young lady appreciates it. Seems like you've really taken to things here. I saw you enjoying the flay leaf salad a little too much, but that's all right. That's part of the feast. That's part of the festival. That's part of the fun.
I could not agree more that taking in this local custom, especially the food, has been very, very special. I've never had anything quite like it. The flay leaf or the tick legs, of course. Shocking how good it all is. And I wonder how much of it would not have existed had you not had such a strange and harrowing past. It does, in a way, seem that good has come out of this. You are not Magnamar, you are not Riddleport, but they have their own problems. And you do not suffer from those problems. So there are positives, I think, we could see here.
This is why more city folks should come out here and visit us. And I'm sure when you walked into town and saw people pushing sturges around and saw little kids riding on ticks, nuzzling blood sacks and whatnot, you thought, what is going on here in this silly town? But after a while, it starts to become comforting. And for us,
Let
it's
me
home.
ask you, Mayor. Have you ever yourself been to Magnamar or Riddleport or even Corvosa?
I have. Business has taken me there from time to time, but it's not my speed. I was raised here. I'll probably die here under the Dream Tender's watchful eye. But it's nice to get out once in a while. I find that when I do and I come back here, I'm able to bring a little bit of that culture back here. And, I think it helps me be an effective ruler to see how the other side lives.
Yeah, I believe that is important to collect that knowledge and use it to advance your own people in the ways that you choose to. But let us not keep you. We have access to you at the after party, right?
But of course, yes. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I am going to make the rounds here. We're going to have to pick one of these young ladies soon, and maybe I'll ask for your input. But please, excuse me for a moment. And he goes around and shaking hands and kissing ticks. And you see eventually the other two young ladies come and give the same speech. And it's pretty much word for word. They both stumble over a couple of words. Whereas,
Of course they do, because they're fucking garbage.
Yeah, I start booing relentlessly at him.
He's just like he's an Eagle fan. He's like, oh,
What
are you?
What are you, an idiot? They're standing 2 feet away from you. Throw a tick leg at him. I'll agree,
oh my god.
They do the same thing for the rest of the tables, recounting this rehearsed story. And then after the whole story's been told by all three girls in turn, table to table, Mr. or Mayor Kriegler comes back and sits down, and he addresses his council first. He's like, we had a good showing this month. All three young women. If they don't win this month, I'm sure they're going to win next month or the month after that. But this is a special one here, especially for our guests. I'd be curious to think what the four of you thought. Any of those young ladies strike your eye as the perfect queen for this founder's feast?
This seems to be an inappropriate conversation for us to be having about some young ladies, so I think we should abstain. Yes?
Why is it inappropriate? What do you mean?
Well, because they're children. Just that simple reason.
Children should learn how to speak to adults, should they not? To
They're
speak
coming of
confidently?
age. They're no longer little girls. These are young women.
Wait, they're children?
This conversation continues to make me more and more uncomfortable.
I can't.
but
I'm sorry. I can't tell with humans. I just don't.
what do we all look the same to you?
I literally couldn't tell them apart if you asked me.
Professor.
Can you tell the difference between me and any of the other humans in our group?
Well, no,
Sorry,
but you have a distinctive odor, which, come to think of it, it's very similar to another person. It's as if it's on the tip of my tongue. Give me a moment. I'll think of it.
I can't imagine who that could possibly be.
No, it never occurred to me before. But please, there, go on.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, Professor, but these young women will be married in just a few short years. These are 16-year-old young women. It's nothing wrong with just judging on how they did. They had an assignment, and I think they all did a good job. We just got to pick who was the best today. And if you'd like to abstain, that's fine.
Is one taller than the other two?
Well, I guess one of them would be considered the tallest. I'd have to put them all next to each other. Why do you ask?
That one.
You like the tallest one?
It's the only characteristic I can discern.
All right, that's one vote for the tallest one.
Oh, come on,
believe that
Corisor.
was-
It was clear that the Shell was the best speaker of all of them. It must be Shell.
Oh, they have names.
Yes,
what are the
Shell. I don't know the other one.
Shell.
I know Shell.
It was Shell.
Like the shell of a tick?
No, it's just one L.
Chitinous shell? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there would be a chitinous, chitinous.
Probably short for my Shell.
Oh, I see.
Shalupescu was one of them, and then there was Sally Squash Nugget. Obviously. Sally Squash Nugget. The Squash Nuggets have been here for a long time. They built this town, and then of course, Beatrice Butterfiddle.
Beatrice Butterfiddle.
Yeah, Shalupescu, Sally Squash Nugget, and Beatrice Butterfiddle. Three great families. Three of the great Ravenmore families.
Any relation to the squash nuggets of Riddleport? The Riddleport squash nuggets.
You know what? They just might be.
Well, I'm sorry. Those names, the names you were saying, is that what's happening?
Yes. Sally,
Literally
Beatrice, and Shell.
It's gibberish. It just sounds
Let
gibberish.
me make it easy on you. Our table votes for Shell.
There you
go. There you go.
Miss Lepescu. All right. Elders, what do you think? You think Miss Lepescu is the Founders Feast Queen this month? And they're all like, the elders agree that Shell is probably the best choice. Thank you for your input. And, Professor, I think there might be something we could learn from you as well. Maybe these traditions could be updated. It's tough, though. People are used to a certain thing. I'd like to pick your brain over a whiskey or two later about what you would suggest we would do, because we can't make whole-scale changes, but, I'm always up for some innovation.
I would be delighted. I enjoy whiskey traditions.
Well, I've got 2 or 3 bottles back at the place. We'll talk all about it. I am getting tired, though. Let me announce the queen and get this party going. So he stands up and is like, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce this month's Founders Feast Queen. It was a tough decision. All 3 young women are queens in their own right. And if they are not crowned this day, they will be crowned the next or the day after that, no doubt. Unless they die of consumption or many of the other horrible diseases that take people from Ravenmore at far too young an age. In which case, this would have been their only chance to become Founders Feast Queen.
In which case, they will be rolled down to the river.
We'll try to burn them, and in lieu of burning, we'll just throw them in the river.
In lieu of burner, we'll roll them down a hill into a
And
river.
then we will boil our ticks in that same water.
They will make for fine seasoning of our sausages one day.
Yes. Maybe we'll sprinkle a little Old Bay on Beatrice Butterfiddle before we toss her in the water.
And then one day their skull will wash up near Skendikadzi and return to us once more.
It will adorn a raft proudly.
Just like old Skelly Jones. She was Founders Feast Queen back in '02.
The same year that Vinegar Tom won the Raven.
Vinegar Tom won the Johnston.
That's amazing. That was a big year.
Skelly Jones.
Nobody will forget '02, dude. Nobody will forget '02.
Nobody. Yeah, it's a hell of a Founders Feast. Flayleaf was cooking that night.
Yeah.
So he says, Shell Lupescu, and the family looks even more excited than Shell. Saul and Anya are just like, ah, and the other parents whisk their daughters away, and you see Shell is brought out, and they're like, it is tradition for the Founders Feast Queen to choose a member of the community to have her first dance with. Shell, congratulations. He puts a crown on her head made of like raven's feathers and flowers. Says, who among us would you like to dance with? And she looks right at Alfonso and is like, I choose him.
You do me a great honor, my queen. And he bows at the waist.
Is Alfonso a good dancer?
Yeah, dude. He's
Like-
a great dancer.
How good? Like good enough to roll to see how well he dances?
Well, you know, he didn't go so far. It was frowned upon on the ship he previously served on to put ranks and perform dance, but he knows a little bit about dancing.
I'd say maybe an acrobatics check just to see how he really launches
all right.
into it.
All right. Yes. It's fast dancing, right?
Yeah.
It's a hoedown. I mean, it's a hoedown.
This is the music. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a hoedown.
All right. Acrobatics check. It's so high, but I'm still gonna do inspiration because I have to.
Crush it.
It's too important. And by the way, I am fatigued. This is with fatigued. He summons up the energy to get a 28 in acrobatics.
28. So there, people are clapping. Like, I don't know if I should. I don't know. And then you just like whip her around like Antonio Banderas in 4 Rooms. And you guys cut a rug, and she keeps up with you for her
Yeah,
part.
she's good. Yeah, that's great.
And you guys are going crazy to this music, and people are whooping and hollering, and you're spinning around with her, and you just see all those faces in the crowd, and they all look kind of grotesque because you've been eating flayleaf nonstop for 3 hours.
Yeah,
It's Flayleaf madness.
Maybe it's one of those things where you think you're dancing really well, and you're just like,
right. It's what was it? What
like
was
Elaine.
Leonardo DiCaprio movie? What was that?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
Or there's an episode of Always Sunny too, where they go to their high school reunion. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, you think it's amazing, and you're just like punching people in the crowd with your spastic movements.
Just like falling over, and like people picking me up.
Sir, you're hurting everyone, and it's horrible to watch.
Sweating.
Eventually, it's like bum 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 bum, and you dip her, and your eyes lock, and she says to you, "I'm gonna come find you later tonight, because the Founders Feast Queen needs her king." And she winks and walks away.
I have so many problems with this.
You did not hear it, Professor.
No,
Jeez.
the professor didn't. Matthew.
I have no problem.
It was a different time, Matthew. This was Ravenmore back in
Right.
'02.
I have no problem with Troy and Joe role playing this.
Old and gross like me. He's a strapping young adventurer.
I don't think that was my objection, Joe. You're fine.
I guess I could have changed her age.
Yeah,
She's
dude.
the
this
ripe
is
age of
different.
12.
Yeah.
Right. This is the difference between reading Game of Thrones and watching Game of Thrones.
Anywho, she says she wants, every Founders Feast queen should have a king, and she gives you this very like, come hither look, and then just walks away to her parents. She gets to her mother Anya, who's like fixing her hair, and you can see them kind of gossiping a little bit, like, oh, what was he like? Did he smell good? He looked really high.
Really high and bloated.
And she just looks over her shoulder at you, and you know that they're talking about you. But eventually, the feast.
I'm going to go over there.
You're going to go up there, okay?
Yeah.
Well, the feast is kind of winding down around you. The crowning of the queen is the final big event. But when I say winding down, there are people who are just as messed up as you are, and now the heavy drinkers are out. While the kids are being put to bed, everybody's now getting in their cups. So you walk over there to where Anya and Shell are.
Yeah. So I'll walk up to Anya and is what's his name? I literally left my
Saul.
notebook in New Jersey. Yeah, Saul. He walks up.
Isn't that a
to
Bruce
Saul.
Springsteen song?
I'm personally offended by this.
Now I don't know how to write a song.
I feel
Personal attack against.
I feel personally attacked.
I'm gonna write that song.
What you can't see in this room is the framed photo of Bruce Springsteen that is in my apartment.
Just waving the New Jersey flag. Or the cannoli in the other hand.
The song sounds vaguely like Walking in Memphis every time you
Walking
start it.
in
I keep doing walking in Memphis. I live my notes in New Jersey.
I like the idea that the main metaphor of the song is that because he left his notebook, he can't write a song.
Yeah.
And now I can't write a song. Like there's nothing else to write on, or is he just so inspired by that notebook he can't possibly create without it? I don't know.
As someone who spent,
fly out of my head, and there's nowhere for them to land.
as someone who has recently tried to solve all of my problems by finding a new notebook, I understand and empathize.
I know your feelings hurt because we're making fun of Bruce Springsteen, or we're making fun of notebooks.
No, Bruce Springsteen.
Both.
They're
Why
both
can't it be
sensitive
both?
subjects for you.
4K, no less notes.
Both third rails of my my good mood.
Two very sensitive areas.
Matthew's living room, the framed picture of the notebook.
Yeah, that's next to Bruce.
You've got his face stamped over Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, well,
They're like in the rain.
You must remember.
Bruce,
Remember.
I took a shower for that photo shoot just so it would match.
It is just Anya and Shell when you go over there.
Oh, really? He's not there?
Yeah, well, he's around, but he's
Okay.
smoking
So
cigars.
I'll walk over and I'll say, congratulations, my dear, and wow. Just what a spectacular dancer you are. You took my breath away. Incredible. Just incredible.
And she's
And
a lot
you,
more.
my lady.
Yeah.
He turns to Anya and he says, I must say, I saw you speaking to Shell earlier, and I could only assume you were giving her the notes she needed to give the wonderful speech that she gave. And I can tell you without question there was no bias. We had not spent enough time with Shell to think anything other than we must receive all of these women equally, and each one we listened to, and Shell was by far the best. And so it was, I must assume, you and your husband who had told her exactly how to finally hone her craft, and you should be proud. She did a wonderful job, and I just wanted to thank you for helping us have such an inspiring evening.
Mr. Moria, you are quite the talker. You have nothing but nice things to say. I don't know if you're here to flatter me or if you're going to be running for the next mayor. That is very kind of you. And may I say, you are quite the dancer. We've had city folk roll through here before, but I've never seen anybody cut a rug like that. And with my daughter, no less. You know, she's only 16.
I'm sorry, what?
How dare you?
That is not what she said to me.
Oh, I was married at 13. It's fine.
That is all I wanted to say. Congratulations and well done, he says to Anya. You should be proud. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to rejoin my friends. And then he'll go back to the group.
Goodbye, Mr. Moria. Goodbye, Alfonso. And you walk back over to your buddies. Is anybody else doing anything as people are getting a little bit rowdier and the rest of them are kind of winding down?
I think the professor is trying to learn the line dances and she's taking notes, and then she does it. She can remember them later when she's not inebriated on filet leaf.
Are you like drawing the steps? Like 2
Yes,
feet
exactly.
with the line, yeah.
Like the dotted line and arrow.
I don't know what that's from, but so that's what you do.
I think Braven is moving from table to table and just stopping for a moment with his back to them and eavesdropping to hear if he can hear anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. What do you want to do? Like you want to do some kind of roll, or just listen? Okay, yeah.
Perception's good. It wouldn't be diplomacy because I'm over hearing them.
Okay.
14 on the die for a 20.
You hear a couple people say like, "Oh, can you believe that pig? The way it just died and came back to life. That son of a bitch was dead. I saw it. Then it wrenched up, started sprouting legs and fly traps, blood coming out of his eyes and whatnot. And then it came back to life."
I return to the table with my incredibly important reconnaissance report.
And everyone nods.
You know what, Braven? This is crazy. I got swept up in the festival and the food. I completely forgot there was a horrible interplanar creature that burst out and almost tried to kill us. Did try to kill us. Almost killed us.
It's often hard to see the forest for the trees when young love blooms.
Well, perhaps. But I think that it is the whole town. They seem to not have minded at all, and it has seeped over to me. I've gotten caught up in the festival, completely forgetting that this thing happened.
Yes. I mean, I'm pretty high right now, but I also have to... This is very strange.
Right, and just so I'm clear, we were not high when it turned into a flyleaf, black-eyed, horrible creature from the nether plane.
No. Yes, right? Exactly.
We got high after that.
Right. I was remembering that correctly. It turned into a mantis-winged...
Yes. Oh! You know what I just remembered?
What?
It cried like a little human baby.
That was so fucked up.
That was so fucked up. That was so fucked up.
I'm just now realizing maybe I got high because I didn't want to remember that. Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
I'm having a bad trip, guys.
No, dude. Calm down.
All together, man.
The professor just dances by. What are you guys talking about?
With their notebook.
Yeah.
We were just rating your looks from 1 to 10.
We gave you a 5.
Have I told you about my friend? She'll kill you.
You're a 7 with your hair down. Put your hair down.
I know she is a fan of responding to minor insults with murder.
Don't joke about these things. And the professor dances off, and she's like...
Angrily dancing off. Like angrily doing like the electric slide.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Both middle fingers up.
Angrily doing the electric slide. That's all wedding songs now.
Slide to the left.
Slide to the right.
Cross.
Cha-cha one time.
Cha-cha now, y'all.
Go again.
I've never seen her dance that angrily before.
Never seen the cha-cha slide done with such vigor. Yeah, so what else is everybody doing? Anything?
Is there, so my previous knowledge check, now reflecting on it, is there any, anything that about like, this creature, like what brings it, or what, you know what I mean? Like how it would be able to travel through planes, or, what draws it? Because usually with extraplanar creatures, there's something that they're drawn to, or something that they wish to do, within this plane, or something like that. I'm just curious if that factors in at all.
Thinking more on the creature, you realize that it was a type of Clipoth.
Oh, holy shit!
Which is like a demon, basically.
Yeah, they're like demons of the ancient world, right?
Yeah.
You guys fought one in Raiders of the Lost Continent.
We did.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wait, is that the thing, the buzz thing?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay. Is
Yeah.
that a Clipoth?
I think so.
Keelpoth? I can't remember. No.
Kilpoth.
Q-L-I-P-P-O-T-H.
Keelpoth.
It's in. I think it's in like Hebrew mythology or something.
Yeah.
Keelpoth is
I
the
remember.
Dragon Lord of Adriel. That's why you got Keelpoth.
No,
from.
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, no, these things I know what you're talking about, Troy. They pre-exist the abyss. They're crazy. I think old demonic extraplanar creatures. So would I have any reason to know why it would be here? Is there just it's just a bad coincidence or terrible random event, or could something draw it here? Or
if you talk to anybody about it, like, do you bring it up to any of the villagers?
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah. And if you ask anybody, they're just like, well, we get things like that here now and then. There's bad magic in the ground here. Bad magic from a long time ago. The dream tender normally protects us from, but now and then, some of the animals, they get the badness in them. They ain't praying like we do. They ain't supplicating and doing all the prayers and whatnot like we do to the dream tender. So maybe it seeps into the animals from time to time. That's what we always say when they say an animal turn demon and whatnot.
So he'll turn to Karazor and Braven. Like, all right, stop eating the flay leaf. Try not to eat anything that comes from the ground here. I mean, not only could it, yes, it has had a somewhat positive and humorous effect on us, but from what they are saying, it's possible that there was some event that happened here many, many years ago that could have blasted the earth in a way with planar energies that could still to this day create a poison within the very ground. And if the creatures are becoming infested, it's probably because they are eating from the ground, plants from the ground.
I'm beginning to be
very careful.
I'm beginning to be very, very worried that Elias Kyle is not in Riddleport.
Well, no, I do not think so, but it is at the mayor's house where I think we will find out more. Wait, let me think on it for a moment. Could I try to roll a knowledge history to see if I know of any like ancient Varisian history of this place where there might have been some great battle or something like that, where there could be a residual extraplanar awfulness? But you know, imagine like the world wound, right? And it's like 10,000 years in the future, and like it was all fixed then. But like there's like this insidious thing in the ground.
Yeah, roll knowledge history.
I'll check too.
That is a 17, and that's with inspiration.
Karazor, anything?
12.
The only thing you really have to go on is what the young women said in their speech, that
it's always been there since the
there was like a
founding of the
supernatural blight, and that's why Iola Kriegler went on her vision quest to trying to find a way to cure it. And the circle of druids she met taught her how to treat the land with more respect.
But what do they actually do? Is it just the festival, or are there other things that they do to actually treat the land with respect?
What they did 2 generations ago may be very different to what they do now. This festival might just be paying lip service to whatever magical shit the druids did. You know
so maybe that statue at the Standing Stones is like straight from the druids. Like, this is what you should do, but over time it's gotten sort of forgotten a little bit, and they do these festivals and stuff. But
you did see a chapel while you were here.
we did?
It looked a little run down, and you guys didn't go into it.
Come on, man! You always go to the chapel in these modules. You always go to the chapel.
Always go to the chapel. Always be closing.
Always be chapeling.
Always be chapel.
Always be chapel.
Always be.
Always be chapel. Always be chapel.
But a blight is actually such a curse on the land that nothing can grow. It's infertile, right? So we would assume that the blight is gone at this point, but maybe there's a residual effect, or maybe they're making sacrifices or doing something besides this otherwise collegial and family friendly monthly festival.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's what's suppressing the blight is whatever, like some kind of pact that they made with some dark forces.
I mean, I was thinking that maybe they were sacrificing the queen each month, is what I was thinking. But I think we asked earlier.
It could be true.
We asked earlier.
But our people are leaving, right? Like it's
a lot of
winding down.
people
So people are going home. Only the drunks are staying. And okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like it is over, and they haven't done a blood sacrifice.
Could we wander over to the chapel by any chance?
Sure, you want to leave the festival and go check out the chapel?
It's always
Take a constitutional.
it's always a good place to pee when you're
Get
drunk.
some fresh air. Yeah, go pee behind the chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pee in it.
Classic LaValle.
Yeah, I love being outside.
Got arrested for it.
Let's go. I didn't. I had a.
Got thrown in jail overnight for it.
That's not true. I had a PBA card. I was leaving work. I hadn't had a single drink. I was bartending at a club, and I had to piss so bad, but I didn't want to walk through the throng of losers to get to the bathroom. So I was just like, I think I can make it home. I get 3 steps out the door, and I'm like, I'm going to piss my pants. And there was a paddy wagon right there, NYPD paddy wagon, and I'm like, there's nobody in there. I have to pee. You know that was like, it's happening. I'm not going to pee in my pants. I'm going to pee in this alcove. So I just ducked in there and peed. Just boop, boop. 2 seconds later, a guy comes out. What are you doing there? I'm like, I'm sorry. I bartend right there, and my penis is going to explode if you don't let me do this. And he's like, I need to see your license. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to jail. And so I hand him my license, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. You can breathalyze me. I haven't had a single drink. I literally just going to piss my pants. And I said, here, I don't know if this makes any difference, but here's a Policeman's Benevolent Association card from another bar I used to work at. I was friends with this cop. And so he looks at my license. He looks at the card, and he hands it to the other guy. And the guy's like, oh, I was in basic with this guy. It's a good cop. It's a good guy. He's like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, all right. I ran out of here. So the cop just happened to know the cop on the PBA.
Wow.
Dude, that's crazy.
As I was,
You're probably the first person in 100 years to be caught pissing on the street in Manhattan without having a drink. Like that is a really rare occurrence. Probably hasn't happened since.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've peed on the street. No, I have peed on the street since. I like peeing on the street.
I probably haven't peed on. No. Yeah, I did pee on the street.
You know what my move is? I whip my Johnson out, and I stand between 2 parked cars, and I go on my phone, and I keep my hand on my hip, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm just peeing the whole time. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I'm coming. I'll look around, like, no, I'll be there soon. Meanwhile, there's a giant puddle coming from, like, there's a gas leak. Like,
Wait,
all right.
Which way?
All right, well, I'll see you soon, Mom.
Oh my god.
That was my go-to move back in the day.
There's actually
whip it out and leave it out there and be like, yep.
He's kind of turned into a awful person, but Gavin McInnes, the founder of Vice, has a video on YouTube with 20 different strategies on how to pee in public, which includes like a Dunkin' Donut, like coffee cup, and like opening it up like more than it possibly should, and just walking like casually. And the idea is misdirection. Just always have people looking at your head, so you have to pretend like you're in an argument with someone on the phone. Like, what the fuck, man?
No. Pee.
What the fuck is happening on this stream?
Oh,
well,
fun.
We're talking about how to
fun.
we're talking about how to release your stream in public on the stream.
I have never urinated out like on a stream.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Matthew,
Let he who is not urinated throw the first yellow water balloon.
Matthew, I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Yes,
you are
yes,
streaming in public right now.
It's a good point, Skid. It's a good point.
All over the world.
Or at least to the people who are watching this.
Hundreds of people are watching you stream.
You should hold up your phone while you do it.
Yeah.
What? Yep.
God damn it.
What choices have I made about my life?
Oh, I could be doing it right now. You guys wouldn't even.
I know exactly.
I have only myself to blame.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Which way?
Right.
Okay.
Left, right.
point I had
Sometimes
to
I'll just say
respect myself.
directions. Left, right, left, right.
Northeast.
Classic.
Classic. Let's go check out the church. Take a peek.
Video game code.
You go over to the church and you just hear the sounds of drunken revelry in the background sort of fade out the closer you get to church. I've moved the map to the map of Ravenmoor. If you were up to the north here in the festival grounds, the The church is down here, sort of to the south west. I always screw those up, and it's in ruins. You can see that the ceiling of clearly abandoned church has mostly caved in, and while its two-story steeple still stands, the bell that once hung inside of it has gone missing. You step inside.
Yeah.
Do we?
You walk in, and it's all in ruins, and you see a single, rather crude idol of, you assume it's Desna.
They're like weird Desna. Is it similar to the statue at the Standing Stones?
It's very similar. This one is more akin to a gourd-faced, straw-stuffed scarecrow than a proper statue, just kind of sagging against what remains of the pulpit wall.
Dude,
you
you
can
need
tell.
to get this module for your friends and run it at Halloween, like all of October.
Yeah.
Like start it in September, go into October. A gourd-faced scarecrow? Are you shitting me? This is
I'm
amazing.
telling you, I said it before we started, and we're 7 eps in. It's one of the best modules I've ever read.
So
And we're just
cool.
scratching the surface. You can tell, all of you, that this place hasn't been used in decades. And
It does not make any sense.
the state of the church sort of borders on blasphemy.
Yeah, same thing with the Standing Stones. It is almost an effigy. And then here they claim to do a festival every month in order to praise their God. Everyone you talk to says, "May the dream tender light your way." They seem to be such a religious people, yet their chapel has fallen into ruin. And even inside there is some level of effigy to it. Is it
Perhaps
by
we have not
design?
discovered the true chapel.
Yes, perhaps they have some other place of worship more attuned to their rough senses.
Maybe their chapel is in their dreams themselves. Maybe they commune with this dream tender. It's not a physical place, but one of the mind and the spirit that transcends Ravenor itself.
It is interesting that they would pick a perverted version of Desna to be so focused on.
I'm gonna start searching. Actually, I'm gonna go over to the effigy and take a good hard look at it.
Yeah, you look at it, and it's just, you see the whatever pumpkin or gourd that was used for a head is like rotting, and it's got these straw wings on the back of it. It's very, very unsettling.
Weird. I take my tick fork out and start like picking it apart. Just kind of like poking into it, see if there's anything solid. in there.
Kept the
You
tick
stole the
fork?
cutlery. I love it.
Stole the cutlery.
Classic. You start picking at the gourd, and a big chunk of it falls off, and like a spider the size of your fist comes out and like wraps around the edge of it, and then scurries off into what remains of the pews. But there's nothing inside of the head.
Can I look around for some sort of like other, like some sort of basement that used to be in here, or a cellar, something that would lead to underground? Maybe there's some sort of like underground chapel or something.
Yeah, roll perception. You all can. If you have stone cutting, you can use that.
26.
Nice.
Nice.
26, pretty good. And you look around, you're feeling for like, is there like a place where there used to be stairs or something? You don't see anything. If there is, it's collapsed. No one's been here in this small little town, which people would walk by this church every day. No one's used it. There's a layer of dust an inch thick on everything.
Perhaps we should ask the mayor about this.
Yes, he might know.
Perhaps the mayor doesn't want to discuss it. And
Well, that would be telling too, wouldn't it?
without knowing anything about Desna or her rights, Braven will just close his head and say a quiet little prayer of just, please bless us, Desna, in our journey forward as the traveler and the goddess of luck, we need you now more than ever. Just as
Please, Raven, this is neither the time nor the place.
What's that?
Exactly.
Oh God.
Hold on a second. I'm going to stop everything for a second because we have major audio issues on the stream that are unbearable.
When did it start?
Just a few minutes ago. So Grant, I don't know if you can like reboot the OBS audio or something. Just try it. Try to cycle it real quick. Sorry guys, but it's just like I listened to it.
The whole system?
It's exactly what we heard in the test last night with just Grant, but it's all of us. And I'm going to take away from this awesomeness.
everything has been rebooted, Joseph.
You're muted at least in Discord.
Oh,
Grant.
this happened last night as well. Hold on.
Yeah, it happened last night. Sorry to interrupt, but that good trailing laugh always makes a good edit in the audio show.
Oh, good.
All right.
Thanks for being patient with us.
Yeah.
We got a good mix. Yeah, mostly yes. Some people
Yeah.
say we're muted, so I think we're good.
I had to cycle it twice, so
right,
maybe
thank you,
on a
Grant.
delay. Apologies.
Too psych. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, so no one's really used this place. Inch of dust on everything, and it's just completely untouched, and it's kind of in the middle of town, so it's a little strange for a town that just constantly talks about their fealty to the Dream Tender. Their church is in ruins.
This bothers me so much. I mean, could I possibly do a knowledge? God, I hate doing this, but I'm just trying to like think of the question I want to ask, which is like a knowledge religion that's basically, is there any sort of direction in like, like religious affiliation or religious worship as effigy? You know what I mean? Where it's meant as a form of respect, but is in fact just incorrect, as opposed to being intentionally blasphemous. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, is there any history of that? Has that happened before? Is there any other examples of that I could think of?
They're trying their best.
Right, exactly. Is it they're trying their best? Or, that's actually pretty good. 27, knowledge religion.
The only sense you get is it seems like a conflict between your knowledge of Desna and their knowledge of Desna, but there's this other influence as well that's creeping in, and so you don't know if that other influence is like another religion that is muddying the waters, or it's just like just like a game of telephone that has gone down through the ages and muddied up their depiction of it.
I
what might
understand.
seem ugly to you might seem reverent to them.
Okay,
Especially
so maybe-
after in a town that's eating tick legs and nuzzling sturges' bellies.
All right, perhaps I am overthinking it. Maybe effigy is the wrong word. I keep saying effigy, but that might hold the wrong connotation. It might send us down a line of thinking that is not helpful in any way. Perhaps it is an honest mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Where did the mistake come from? And maybe that will give us some answers. At this point, I think talking to the mayor is our best bet.
Yes. Confront him, I say.
Yes, tie him down. Call in the crystal ghost to put the silver blade in his throat.
I mean, who knows? The crystal ghost could be in the town already.
You know we're the only ones in the chapel, right? No one's been in here for... Look at the dust on the floor. No one has been here for a very long time.
I am so...
Nobody knows how the crystal ghost travels.
Okay,
Some
so I
say
see-
she disappears, like the night wind, traveling from place to place.
Are you sure you aren't a professor of histrionics and bullshit? Holy
Perhaps.
fuck.
It's bullshit.
Perhaps.
Good,
I did my dissertation on bullshit.
When you hear, you'll be walking through the town at night and hear a slight noise behind you and turn around and see nothing. Perhaps the crystal ghost is there already, keeping you safe.
All
Safe
right.
From the horrors of the world.
All right, Professor Marilyn Maudlin, we gotta go to the mayor's house. Shut the fuck up.
Perhaps Crystal Ghost is sitting in this building with us right now. How would we know? How would we know?
And I turn to Brave and say, just let her do it.
All right, you're right, Karzar.
Some heroes wear capes. Some walk the earth as immortals.
We start making our way to the mayor's house.
Yeah. She's still talking. Some are like the night wind.
Wait, guys. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Wait, guys. Wait up.
I think I saw the crystal ghost over this way.
I doubt that, but I sincerely doubt it. Wait, come back. Wait for me.
You see in the distance that the bonfires that were lit before the feast are all slowly being doused as the feast comes to a true spiritual end. Now, there's still stragglers, still people kind of partying well into the night. It's kind of like the parties in Red Dead Redemption 2, that if you stay for the whole party, there's still people going like an hour and hours into the morning, still talking. There's still people like that, sitting around a little too deep in their cups, a little too high on flay leaf, and who knows what else. You actually see some people walking home have a little effigy in their hand, similar to the thing you saw in the ruined chapel. And it looks like it has moth wings. It's very rudimentarily made, but they almost all have it. And as they're walking home, you walk by you see them just light it on fire and hold it in front of them as they slowly walk home, and it burns in their hand. And then they just let it go. And so as you're making your way to the mayor's manor, you see the large fires douse out. But all over town, these small little fires appear of the effigies of Desna being burnt. And you reach the steps of the mayor's house and turn around and just see lights all over the city.
Oh my God.
Coming on and going out. And we'll see you next week.
Oh, no.
Shit! I want to talk to this dude right now.
This is too much fun.
Oh my God! The flame
I
that you
love it.
That's jam.
Good night, everybody.